internet by storm this week. Since hitting YouTube on Monday, the Kony 2012 campaign has already racked up 50 million hits, and we're going to meet the man behind it in just a moment. But first, today, Savannah Guthrie has the latest on this sensation. Savannah, good morning.
Good morning, Ann. Well, this video has caught the eye and touched the hearts of millions in just days, from teenagers to social activists, actors to politicians. And the remarkable part of it is how it's gotten so big so fast.
Joseph Kony.
Amazing, potentially revolutionary.
Its reach has stretched from the airwaves.
They're talking about Kony 2012.
Across the internet.
Kony 2012 is so incredibly sad.
And around the globe.
A friend of mine shared it with me. She's in Africa.
Kony 2012 is the online video that has taken the world by storm. Seen by tens of millions in just days, the video targets Uganda's guerrilla leader Joseph Kony and his extremist terror group known as the Lord's Resistance Army, named by the International Criminal Court as the world's #1 war criminal for crimes against children.
Turning the girls into sex slaves and the boys into child soldiers.
Plain-spoken, poignant, and powerful, filmmaker Jason Russell uses his 4-year-old son to make a simple point.
What do you think we should do about it?
We should stop them.
It made me want to act. I felt so almost attached to these children, and I don't even know them, and I just want to help them.
At nearly 30 minutes long, it's unlike other videos that have exploded on YouTube.
I'm struck by how young many of the viewers are and how strongly they're reacting to it on Facebook and on Twitter. That's the point of social networking, but rarely have we seen it used about some sort of international activism like this.
The video went viral, fueled in large part by big-name celebrities like Oprah, Rihanna, and Justin Bieber, who tweeted, "This is not a joke. This is serious. Together we can make a change and stop Kony." Part social campaign, part call to action inspiring a new generation, Kony 2012 asks people to take to the streets on April 20th, putting up posters of Joseph Kony in, quote, every city on every block possible.
The rest of the world will go to bed Friday night and wake up to hundreds of thousands of posters demanding justice on every corner.
By harnessing the power of social media, filmmaker Russell is hoping to change the world one view, one click, and one tweet at a time. And the momentum really has not stopped. In the past 2 days alone, it has averaged close to 1 million hits per hour.
All right, Savannah, thank you so much. Jason Russell is now joining us exclusively. Jason, good morning to you. You posted this film just on Monday. A lot of us heard about it from family. My niece Lily told me about it. You just looked at 50 million views on YouTube, but guess what? We also checked Vimeo, and if you add those two numbers together, 64 million views. Why do you think your effort to make Joseph Kony famous has caught fire?
I think it's because it's a human story. We're all human beings. And for some reason, we forgot about our humanity because of politics and because of all of these things that we are talking about. It's paralyzed us. And we forgot, oh yeah, we're humans first. And we forgot about that. And this brings it back to the core issue. We're living on a planet floating in the middle of eternity, and we can connect with each other and we can protect each other.
You really are connecting with young people. I mean, that's what's really driving so much of the retweets and the movement.
Right.
Of this. I mean, a lot of major news organizations have talked about Joseph Kony, talked about the LRA, but there's something about the way you've done it that's taken it beyond just reporting and informing people, but you're trying to sort of move people. But how do you know this is not just slacktivism? How do you know that people are actually going to do this as a real movement?
Well, we have had over 500,000 action kits ordered, so they're ready to take action. They are constantly asking, demanding, what are we doing now? And we're taking it to the streets. They're organizing it themselves in every city around the world. This is not an American movement. It's everywhere. Literally, South Korea is saying, okay, we're ready, we're putting up the posters. And it's because in math, you don't start with calculus, you don't start with, algebra, right? There's complicated issues in the world. We know that. Afghanistan, right? Syria, Somalia, all right? These are complex issues. Kony's not. He's 1 + 1. We can all agree with that. We can all agree together, we're going to stop him this year. We're not going to wait another year.
How are you going to stop him?
Well, we have an LRA crisis tracker. I don't know if you've seen it. LRAcrisistracker.com, and you can download it. It's on an app, and this is all funded by high school, college students, okay? This is where the money is going, right here, to track them down. And there's incidences and reports this month, this year. We know where they are abducting, and we know where they are killing. And so we want the international community to respond. There was a responsibility to protect. The UN committed to. Samantha Power's been talking about it. Angelina Jolie, George Kony, they've been saying it for a long time. And now the youth are waking up. These are children and young people, 25 and younger, are saying, Mom, Dad, we want you to pay attention to this right now. It's now. The power of doing it now, not later, not next year. We don't have all the answers. We don't.
Well, no, you don't. And there, in fact, let me ask you about that, because there is evidence that Joseph Kony is now down to about 200 followers.
Right.
That his impact has lessened since all those years ago when you first met the young man named Jacob, who you showed us in your film, and that actually Joseph Kony is on the run. So
Right.
how much of a threat is he actually today?
Well, let me put it this way. If 200 children were abducted in San Diego, California, that's where I'm from, and there were
No, he's down to 200 followers is what I just said.
200 fighters.
Right, exactly.
Joseph Kony. So 200 fighters, 200 abducted children. What I'm saying is if that happened in San Diego, California, if that happened in New York City, 200 children abducted and forced to kill their parents, if that happened here, if that happened in my home, it would be all over the news. It's taken 26 years for this to hit the news.
Well, actually, no, that's not true. It's been in the news actually for years. It's just not been actually in the front as you're making
We
it,
don't.
which is good.
We cared, but we didn't know what to do about it. Now we know what to do about it.
Let me ask you about what I want to give you a chance to talk about is some of the criticism, and specifically there is a criticism that's too much of the money, that only 32% of the money that Invisible Children gets goes directly to aid children, to help people in Uganda. Do you want to answer that?
Yeah, so the old model of charity, or some charities, I shouldn't say the old model, like the Scott Harrison Charity Water model is 100% goes to clean water, and he's a rock star, and we love him. We're really good friends with him, and that's their model, and they're proud of it, and we love it. Our model is not that. Our model is threefold: the movie, the movement, and the mission. And the mission is to end the war and rehabilitate these child soldiers. So it's a three-pronged approach. We think different. It's unorthodox on purpose.
Well, obviously, you're just getting started. Jason Russell, it's a pleasure to meet you.
It's really a pleasure. Thank you for telling the story consistently and constantly.
You bet. We'll keep going. Thanks so much, Jason Russell. And just had another international sensation, the rise of hit